All right, well, we got stage one. I just wanted to show our viewers what it means to order meat in the mail. Because they get an envelope full of meat. But the way this actually works is we've got a box here with another box in it, and that box you can see is will help me here now. Okay, well, listen to
maybe not.
Okay, well, let's try that again.
Maybe if we take it out, I'll take this filler off, so we'll just mess up the top here.
All right, here we go. We use our muscles together.
Okay,
1, 2, 3. Oh, your muscles are better than mine. Okay, so we have a box in a box. It's a little bit like one of those dolls.
Like those Russian nesting dolls.
Okay, box in a box. All right. So now, the way this generally works is, so we've got an insulated box here, which is great. So we're in Seattle here. This actually came from Missouri. So we've got our insulated box here.
This actually is a little bit, and it looks like it is going to be, glad you're here to receive it, because it would probably not been a good idea to leave it outside too long.
Yes, but so you can see we've got our little individual packets here, which are actually still frozen, which is cool. So that kind of makes me happy here.
Yeah.
We've got our livers, and we've got some ground. And you can see, actually, this one is completely frozen solid, which is cool.
And I think it's really good to point out too that eating organ meats is actually something that's really good for us. A lot of people kind of crinkle their nose because they may have had it in the past, their mom tried to feed it to them, or they had it prepared in a really poor fashion that just wasn't appealing. But organ meats are so good for us. And if you think about it, there's no reason not to eat organ meats. If we recognize that we're humans, we need protein as part of our diet to function. So why is it that it's the norm to eat a chicken breast or a leg, but not the guts? So I'm a fan of nose to tail dining with animals, and I also actually apply the same thing to vegetables. Little examples would be vegetables and fruit. Take strawberries. When we get some fresh strawberries, we always cut the whole top off, throw the green in the compost, or throw it away, even worse. Why not just eat the whole thing? Same thing with kale. I take the stems out and I save them. If I'm doing a raw kale salad, I'll use just the leaves, but I'll save the stems and then I'll either saute them or put them in a stew.
You know what my lazy person's way of eating nose to tail is? It's like, this is my favorite thing ever, aside from getting meat in the mail. Nell and I do not work for any of the companies we're talking about today. My Vitamix.
Oh yeah.
Because you can I just throw, obviously you're not going to throw like a banana in the peel, but anything like the whole broccoli, things that you wouldn't necessarily want to stick a fork in and chew, toss it in your Vitamix, blend it up.
Totally agree with that. And the nice thing with that is, so many of us are on the go, and we don't have time to eat, so we have to figure out, you can't exactly eat a salad while you're driving. But at the same time, we don't want to resort to eating, sweet smoothies all the time. So you don't have to make it sweet smoothie all the time. You can actually throw things that are savory and make what would in effect be kind of like a soup puree.
Yep.
And I was actually talking with a client the other day. I had gum surgery last year, and I had to not eat anything solid for a week.
Yep.
And I'm not somebody who wants sweet all the time. So the idea of me eating, fruit smoothies all day just sounded revolting.
Yep.
So then I thought, well, why don't I just take some things that I would eat as a meal and puree them? So I steamed some broccoli, I poached some chicken, I made a broth, I put that in I let it cool, I put it in the blender with some olive oil and some garlic. And it was just a soup puree.
I love it. So
same thing you can do in the Vitamix, and it's actually a lot better than juicing. The problem with juicing, and people do it with good intention, but if you only juice, you're not getting any fiber from the fruits and vegetables. And the other thing is, a lot of people tend to go more with the fruits because they taste sweet. So even though, again, you do it with a better intention than going and having a giant mocha frappuccino, you're still getting a load of sugar.
And let's always keep in mind that cardinal rule of whole foods. When you juice, it's not the whole food. Whereas, as you said, maybe you can't eat a salad while you're driving, but you can take the components of the salad, liquefy it, and this is how I get my vegetables when I'm on the go, right? And that's just, and you can even do, we'll show the meat here in a moment, but what we do for, you mentioned the organ meats, might take a little bit of time and effort to make taste good on their own. But if you take, for example, we take our ground, we take our liver, take a bunch of seasonings, some onions, some garlic, throw it in the Vitamix, turn it into a meatloaf, cook it, man, that's good eating.
Exactly. Totally agree with that. And that's another thing that's, for people that maybe are coming from a background that have been cooking for a while, that aren't that new to the kitchen, you might be cleaning out your kitchen and saying, I'm not going to need this kitchen stand mixer anymore. And I actually have one because We got one for our wedding.
Yep.
And I was thinking, what am I going to do with this? I don't bake anymore. But I bought the attachment so I can grind my own meat.
Yeah.
And I can make my own sausages.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot of fun, you know.
Absolutely is.
And the same thing if you exactly what you're saying. If you grind, maybe you're familiar with a ribeye, but the idea of liver is kind of well, make it mostly ribeye and then add some liver, so you still get the benefit.
Love it.